Site. Joining me right now is Tara Maller, who's a senior policy advisor for the Counterterrorism Project, counter extremism, and a military analyst at the CIA. Let me ask you about this. How do you put the motives together just on what you've heard? Apparently people were, regular people in the neighborhood were hassling, although it's always struck me if you're going to run a restaurant, you had to be somewhat social. You don't, but they say this family didn't talk to anybody. Well, I don't even know how you do that. I guess it's a takeout kind of place. The other thing is, how do you mix together what are increasingly these misfit kind of situations, whether it's somebody in the Army or it's somebody out in San Bernardino in a government office out there? These people seem to be just fitting into the category of somewhere up in Connecticut, those kind of shooters. You know what I mean? Yeah, like it's a combination of just, I don't like the people around me, I'm going to blow out against them, or I'm going to send a message internationally. And this guy didn't even have an escape plan, apparently.
You're exactly right. And I think in a lot of these cases, we look to cling to one single motivation. It could be a mix of things. Yeah. He could have been having problems at home. He could have been having problems psychologically. He could have been having trips to Afghanistan. He could have been exposed to radical jihadist content online. And all of these things created a perfect storm and motivated him to carry out the attack. We don't know yet. It's too early to say, but I can guarantee you the speed of this investigation, how quickly they apprehended him, the evidence they have, the computers and the cell phones they're going to be able to get into. I can tell you we're going to have a lot more information about his motivations, who he was in touch with, what he may have believed, if there were jihadist motivations behind it. We'll see that process of radicalization. A lot of these people, it's not that they're having contact directly. They're not having meetings. They're not becoming part of a high-tiered network. They're becoming exposed to the content, the propaganda online.
They want it.
Because they want it, they're seeking it out, and because it's out there, you know, the tech companies need to start cracking down on a lot. That's one of the things.
The largest countries in the world, China and India, have lots of poor people out there. They're not coming at us, right? So why do certain groups of people come after us?
Well, I think there are a lot of reasons. I mean, you can look to...
It's not poverty. The people that hit us on 9/11 were all educated technicians. These guys that put that together had careers ahead of them. They were not impoverished or in trouble, had any reason to hate anybody, except they just didn't fit in somehow.
Right, but you do have strongholds in Syria and Iraq where there is an organization that's trying to propagate an anti-Western message. And some of these individuals, disenfranchised in different places, it's in Europe too, it's in Brussels, it's in Paris, they will grasp onto this. Not just in terms of going to fight there as a foreign fighter, but just ideologically, messages resonate. And they might have other problems. In many of these cases, they do.
So. They go looking online to try to find new allies in life.
In this case, it didn't seem like there was such great planning. I mean, he dropped it in a dumpster. There's plenty of other targets that probably were fortunate.
Why did they find him in a doorstep? I thought he may have done it being positive because he didn't want to incriminate his family or anybody else. So he said, I'm going to go sit and let him pick me up.
You're ascribing very genuine and benign motivations. I mean, he might not have anywhere to go. He might not have planned this well. He might not have thought it out. It seems like there were lots of problems with this actual attack itself. I mean, he could have probably put that in a lot of other places and hit more people. Fortunately, he did not.
Why did he attack dumpsters?
A dumpster is it's meant to confine an explosive in a sense. It's barricading it. So
it's a safe attack, but not a safe escape because he left all the evidence. Thank you, Tara.
You're welcome.